That should be our opening every single time. Just like, yay! Hey guys, welcome to the show. Yay, Mandy and friends. I have my beautiful co-host Stephanie.
Hi.
And our wonderful guest today, Alexis. Yay! The last 2 episodes we've just been palling around. I'm so glad that we could get a guest on the show.
I'm super excited to be here.
Yay! And today we're drinking red wine.
Yes.
Cheers!
Brought to you by
7-Eleven.
Yay!
Even though we live in Willamette Valley with some of the most amazing wine on the planet, can I just say though,
We still got our roots with us.
yeah. What's happening right here? What's going on?
I don't want to have to get up and pour more wine, so I have a glass that it actually holds a full bottle of wine.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Wow.
Good job. All right.
Exactly.
I love that.
Yeah.
So
No sign of alcoholism here anywhere.
No, I don't see it. I don't see it. So let's introduce our guest, Alexis.
Yes.
Who are you? Where did you come from? Okay, so let's start with how we know each other.
Okay.
We met via community group by way of church. That's how we met and became fast friends. And then I want to know, where were you born and how did you get to Oregon?
Okay, well, I was actually born in Portland, Oregon. My parents are from Oregon.
I thought you were born in Pennsylvania. I'm so confused.
I was raised in Pennsylvania.
What?
Yeah.
I was born in Pennsylvania.
Really?
Yes.
Live here. What the hell?
What part of Pennsylvania were you raised?
Pittsburgh.
Okay.
Yeah, so I actually lived in Pittsburgh for quite a lot of my life, so that's why I just say I'm from there, because it was like 7 all the way to almost 22.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'm from Pittsburgh.
That's
if anybody
basically your
asks.
hometown for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I got to
Which is why
Portland.
I thought she was born there.
Yeah, understandable. And yeah, I got to Portland, Oregon because I met a woman at a bar. So y'all need to start drinking at 21. It gets you
gosh.
places.
What has this family show turned into, first of all?
No, let's hear the story. We've got time.
I was 21 years old, just graduated college, and I really wanted to move to Oregon because I just graduated trade school for construction. And I thought that tiny homes in Oregon were a really big thing. In fact, the government even was paying people to build tiny homes for the homeless. So I was like, oh, I would love to move to Oregon and be a part of that. And I met a woman at a bar. I'm also a singer. Hello.
She is. It doesn't.
That was not a good
It doesn't
representation.
sound. It doesn't sound like she's the singer right now. She is.
Hallelujah. No, that's not even it either. Okay, that's not it.
We'll do another episode of you singing.
But anyways, I was on the stage singing, and this woman was like, wow, I love your singing. Can I buy you a drink? Buys me a drink. And then I'm telling her how I want to move to Oregon. And she's like, oh, I'm actually from Oregon. That's where I live, in a town called Newburgh. And she's like, you can come live with me for free. So
Wow.
I was like, okay. I will pack up my car tonight. I will see you in Oregon. I mean, that's pretty much how it went down.
Wow. So
How many years ago was that?
This is
meeting?
going on 5 years this January.
whoa.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
And what was her name?
Her name is Laura Rupersberger. Throwing her out there. She is a really good friend of mine still to this day.
That's good.
And she was at my wedding. And I got married a year ago.
Yay.
To this day now. And she met my now husband. Within the first month of me moving to Oregon, I met my now husband. And she would hang out with us and drink wine with us. And at my wedding, she was just bawling her eyes out like, I feel like I brought you two together.
Which Snapchat did, but yeah.
Social media
Yeah.
brought my husband and I together.
Cool. That's a fun story.
Yeah.
Cheers to that. Yay.
More reasons to the cheers. Hooray.
Yay. Well, actually, now that I think about it, how did you... We haven't talked about this for a while. But you're from Las Vegas. How did you get to Oregon? Long story short, it was...
Well, I moved twice here.
Okay.
I moved first to Newburgh in 2011. And then I moved back home for a couple of years from 2014, home being Las Vegas, from 2014 to 2016. Got back here at the end of 2016. So I'll talk about the 2016 move. I was traveling a bit much, and to reduce my traveling,
For a job.
yes, I moved here.
Okay.
I moved here because it was the headquarters of the company I worked at.
There it is.
Yeah.
But then we met because I had my gallery, and she came in promoting her improv classes. And
Was it that first?
It was
the
you.
improv?
You showed up with a guy dressed in a dinosaur outfit.
I did.
And I was like, whoa, the party has entered the room.
And I think I was actually promoting my bingo night I had at a winery.
It was, I vividly remember you
Or was it
though,
the-
talking about improv class.
Yes.
So if it was that, it was that
I think I was
Couple.
talking about both of those things.
most likely, yes. Like,
as well, yeah.
you're like, I just moved here. I've got a lot of stuff going
Right.
on.
Well, you were the first person that I put in Oregon. Okay. That I put candles in, and I didn't even have. I didn't
Yes.
start my business. So your store was more of like a tester to see, can I do this? I was just creating random candles.
By the way, shout out to Sherman Candles. They are our sponsor for today. She
because I bought the wine.
Cheers.
Woo!
That was a good cheers.
Yeah. That's a good clink.
And
This big,
what
big cup.
about you, Amanda? Have you ever told your viewers how you came to be here in this beautiful, wonderful town of McMinnville?
No, I haven't told you. So my parents, they were like, let's make a baby. And so my mom got pregnant.
No, we're not going
And
back
then-
that far.
And then my mom was like, oh no, I have to give birth. I can't keep this baby in me forever. Dang it. I'm going to have to give birth. And so she went to Good Samaritan Hospital on 23rd Street in Portland, which, by the way, fun fact, they don't have anymore. And
Good Samaritans?
like Good Samaritan, you can give birth at the Good Samaritan if you're like an emergency, but they don't have a clinic for pregnant women. They don't have,
like a birthing unit.
yeah, they don't have a birth. Thank you.
It's why
I was
I'm
like
here.
one of I was one of the last, like babies born there, like purposefully. Anyway, so I was born on 23rd Street. So I have like, I love going to 23rd, and I was telling all my friends in high school, I was like, I was born there. Anyway, and so that's how I showed up in Oregon.
Yeah.
I was
That's
born
awesome.
here.
But how did you get to
Thank you.
McMinnville?
That's a good question. So McMinnville, we got here because my former husband and I moved to North Carolina for 2 years. We came back, and when we came back in 2015, there was the housing crisis of 2015. I don't know if you guys
Was there a
heard about
2015
it.
housing crisis? I thought it was 2008.
Absolutely. Oh my word. No, this is specific to Portland.
Oh.
Because everyone in the United States in 2015 decided to move to either Raleigh, North Carolina, Austin, Texas, or Portland, Oregon. Those were the top 3 cities that people...
Except for me.
in
2015.
You're like, I'll wait till 2016. Anyway, so when we moved back, it was like, wow, there's literally nowhere to live. I applied, or I called, because if you were to apply to an apartment, you would have to pay the application fee. And I called, I said, how many people are on your waiting list? And they're like, we have 30. And this was apartment after apartment after apartment. And so we lived at my mom's for 4 months, looking for a place to live, about
4
to
months, your mom, 3 kids, you and
Yep.
your ex-husband. That's a full house.
My ex and I, and our brothers were living at my
Both
mom's.
of them?
Both of them.
Oh, my heck, and a handbasket that would have been.
So how it was is that my younger brother had his room. my brother-in-law had his room. My mom had her office and her bedroom. and so my husband and I, we lived in a tent in the backyard for 3 months. While my kids slept in the dining room. I made like a special space for them. Yeah.
This is amazing.
Yeah. And so 2 months in, after searching, we were all getting very dejected. We were getting very like, wow, God, what the heck is going on? Like, really? And we went on a family vacation. And we went with Justin's family, my ex's family, and his aunt at the time, Lori. Shout out to Lori Marshall.
Woo, Lori
Amazing.
Marshall.
I'm totally taking her in this. She's going to love this. She's a loan officer for housing. And we told her our situation. She's like, wait, you're first-time home buyers? I'm like, yeah. She's like, I can get you grant money.
Nice.
And so she totally got us a home loan. And we were able to move to McMinnville because it was the last like frontier of affordable housing at the time. And we got into a house thanks to Lori and our real estate Ann, of course. And she got us like $10,000 down payment.
Dang.
Grant money. Yeah.
That's wonderful.
But it took another 2 months, and Justin and I had to move out of the tent into the living room because our stuff started to mildew.
Oh.
Oh my God.
Yeah, all of our stuff started to grow mold because we were in a tent.
That sounds like an excitingly stressful time of your life.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that you got a new house. And if you didn't endure all of these hardships, we both would have never have met you.
I know, and I wouldn't be the person I am today. And
I almost feel comfortable with telling my first story of why I moved.
You almost feel, do we need a couple more sips?
It's embarrassing.
Can I just say, though, to cap this off, when I see homeless people in tents, I'm not saying I share it. The only thing that I can share with them in any kind of respect is this idea of tent life in Oregon in the winter.
What? I mean,
no, like I can't even.
Yeah.
I will say, like when 2015, when you were buying your first house, I actually bought a house myself, and
Where though?
I bought it in Pennsylvania, in a town called Newcastle, and it was a $500 house.
What?
Yeah, so it was a crazy story, but.
So it was a fixer-upper?
It was a huge fixer-upper.
She went to construction
school. I would say I, too, once lived, like a homeless person because I lived in this house. It didn't have any electrical, no plumbing, like none. Like somebody came in and gutted out the plumbing because it was copper kind of thing.
What copper?
So,
they're stealing
nothing.
the
There was nothing.
Yeah.
And I lived in that house for like 3 months as it was like rat infested.
But you were building on it.
Yeah, so that's when I went to school for construction.
You weren't just
started fixing it.
You weren't just like, this is my home now.
Yeah, no.
You were like, I'm turning this into something beautiful.
And I did turn it
That's
into
awesome.
a duplex where it then became a generator for passive income. So
That's amazing.
Do you still own this home?
I gave it to my mom. Yeah, so my mom rents it out because it was
And
hard
you still
for me
have
to
it in the
take care of
family.
it.
That's
Yeah,
great.
it's in the fam for sure.
I'm sorry. I did not know that you gave it to your mom.
Yes.
That's wonderful.
That is
What are you sorry for?
No, I thought she had sold it. No, that's amazing.
Still have it.
Like your bio mom or your mom?
My adopted mom.
That's amazing. That is amazing.
Yeah.
Neat
Wow.
story. All right, that calls for a cheers.
So anything is possible, y'all. Whether it's
Amen.
grant money, if you gotta live in a tent, if you gotta live in an abandoned house for $500, later on in life you could be here.
You're on the Mandy and Friends show. Drinking wine.
Okay, you just persevere, and you could be this.
Amen. I love it. So, are you?
Okay.
Okay.
The
She's
super
ready.
short story. You guys, this is embarrassing for me in hindsight. But you know what? This is probably going to explode our ratings because it's just, honestly.
I hope
Andrew, I think you're going to appreciate this. So,
Andrew's gonna appreciate.
all right. So, just a little backstory. When I was living in Las Vegas, before the first time I moved to Oregon, I was in a relationship, and my boyfriend would tour. He was
Was he a magician?
No, music. He would do back of the house music stuff or whatever. So he was always gone.
Yeah.
And I was going, I started college late in my life, later than, not right after high school. And so I was doing classes and I was bored and I didn't want to go out. So I started playing World of Warcraft.
Yes, queen.
I'm saying is, if you thought I would appreciate that, you are very wrong.
I almost flipped him off with both fingers, but I caught him.
She read you wrong, Andrew.
I've never played World of Warcraft in my life.
Okay,
ever.
I thought you were a nerd, but since you're not.
Oh, no, I'm a nerd. I'm just not that nerdy.
So
wow.
I nerded up. Okay.
Wow.
So I might have to cover my face for this next one.
Oh,
So
God.
I ended up meeting someone in my guild.
Yes, queen.
And I moved. We ended up started long distance dating. And
Wait. But
Sorry.
you didn't cheat on your boyfriend. Like,
No, we were broken up.
Yeah.
That's when I started playing.
Right. Because he was traveling.
Because he was
so you're
traveling.
Like, I'm gonna play World of Warcraft.
He moved back. We ended up splitting up, and I still kept playing, and was getting closer.
So what does that have to do with Oregon?
So I ended up getting into a relationship with this person that I met on World of Warcraft.
Oh, wow.
We exchanged phone numbers. We started talking. I flew up here to meet him, spend a week here, and I ended up moving
Aww.
to Newburgh.
Nice.
So then
Newburgh, the place to be.
I know, the random place for.
Yeah.
So then him and I together in 2014 moved back to Las Vegas for 2 years, and I started that traveling position. So I was traveling, and he ended up starting to cheat on me. I know. And then we broke up, and he moved in with the girl he was cheating on me with. And my traveling got so much, and I just ended up moving back to Oregon, but in the city where my headquarters was.
Yeah. McMinnville.
And, it's interesting because in going through something like that, it was easy for me to just I was lucky to have a traveling position because I didn't stay home and sulk. I cried on so many planes that year after he cheated on me. I mean, we were engaged, though, at the time. I haven't had a relationship since then.
Like a solid.
It's been 6 years.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah.
So I cried to people. This one lady, it was like a really late flight, and she was the last person to get on the plane. And she sat next to me, and she just, I don't know, she just was causing a ruckus, and she was just fantastic. And for some reason, I had avocados in my purse, and she had
Like you do.
I don't even remember why.
Dude, I have avocados
But she
in my
had
purse
fried
all the
chicken, and I pulled out my laptop, and we ate avocados and fried chicken and watched a movie. And I cried to this lady about
amazing.
my situation. I mean, and we ended up exchanging phone numbers. I think she was a detective. And I mean, we talked for a year.
That's amazing.
Sister support. I met so many people on the road during this time of recovery.
Can we just have a movie? Avocados and fried chicken.
Okay.
I know. I mean,
Fried.
anyway, that's my embarrassing story of why I first moved to Oregon.
I mean, it's not embarrassing at all. That's
It's
your
real,
story.
it's
That's
raw.
part
it's a
of your
little
life.
embarrassing for me because a lot of people don't really understand how deep, a World of Warcraft or the what is that? What is it called? How do you describe the multiplayer role-playing games? Right? I was in multiple weddings that were just the characters being married. Like, people were so serious about.
Dude, this is
I never got married
amazing.
in game, by the way.
No, this is beautiful. And I think so many people actually do relate to your story.
Really?
But have never been able to
It's hard to
express
admit,
it
to be
and
honest with
talk
you.
about it. I'm so excited to post this because so many people will actually be like, oh, shoot.
You find a
I've been
common
there.
bond, a
Yep.
connection.
Absolutely.
And, yeah. Well, see, I've been thinking about it lately, going, you have a common ground, and how is this any different? I feel like the the World of Warcraft little thing I went through. How is it any different than meeting somebody on Tinder?
Yeah, no,
I feel
it's
like
not different.
you get more depth and more time getting
'Cause
to
you're
know
doing
someone
stuff.
because you're actually a unit trying to complete tasks together.
Yeah, that's
online.
amazing. Yeah.
Like playing games online. Like, you know, a lot of people probably play Word with
Friends.
Word with Friends, right?
Yes.
That's a bonding thing. I mean, these games and all this online thing, it's about different ways to bond.
Yeah.
And it was,
Absolutely.
it's pretty fun.
I met my husband on Tinder. Actually,
You're not my only friend that has met a husband on Tinder, and you think that this, you know, Tinder's all about, you know, you think it's about Netflix and chill up front, but
It kind of is, though.
But then you get in depth.
It really is.
But then how did you get that in depth?
whoa.
Yeah, so for me, I had a Tinder because actually when I first moved to Newburgh, my car broke down. I literally had to leave it in New Mexico, broken down. I had to get a rental car to get to Oregon. And so when I first got here, all I knew from my friends who are all in college partying, they all told me, go on Tinder. I'd never been on Tinder before. And so
Wait.
Tinder.
Go on Tinder to get your car fixed.
Well, sorry, go on Tinder because
You're slightly yelling. I don't know if you're aware of that. You're slightly yelling.
I'm always telling her
Okay.
to calm
yeah,
down.
it's a thing. I get so excited and my voice is naturally loud.
It's okay because you're you're competing with Fran Drescher right
Yeah,
now.
it's
so.
the same voice. It's that voice that I project.
Okay,
really
we're here
loud.
for you. We can hear you.
So yeah, I didn't know how else to get out of the house, and so whenever I didn't know like how to get out of the house, I don't have a car, make friends. The woman I lived with had a spare car. She said I could use it for work.
This lady, who
This
is that?
lady.
I mean, we would need her on the show.
I know, but it wasn't for like hanging out with friends.
Sure.
So I didn't.
Emergency.
Yeah, emergency.
Yeah.
So when it came to hanging out with friends, I asked, like, how do I get out of the house? And what came back to me was Tinder. Okay, so I go on Tinder, and I'm trying to make friends, and it was just, like, sexual encounters all the way. Like, every date I went on, it was, like, hand down my shirt, like, what is going on?
Wait a
like,
minute.
no permission.
Who gave you the idea that...
It was crazy.
Who, please... I'm missing something.
But all my college friends.
Who gave you the idea that Tinder is the place to meet a BFF or something?
It was just, I think it was mostly like, this is what everybody I knew was doing, just to meet people. So I associated meeting people with Tinder. So I started going on all these crazy dates. Like, I got stories to tell, but but
She will be
eventually
back,
what happened
people.
was my now husband got on Tinder, and he was like not getting any catches.
Yeah.
No one was matching with him.
Which, by the way, when he tells the story, because I heard his side of the story, he's like, I don't understand. I have a job. I'm good looking. I'm tall. Why am I not getting any matches? And so he, amongst many other men, he's not the only one.
Yeah.
They take the woman's name and then they see what other like things that they're giving. So sometimes you can add your Snapchat, you can add your Instagram to your profile. So he went into her Snapchat and like slid into her DMs.
Yeah, he got into my other social media, and then one day I saw him there. And I was like, who's this guy? He was skiing in the mountains. And I was like, can I come skiing with you? And he was like, do you know how to ski? And I was like, no. And he's like, well, then no. Like, you can't come. And I was
You know what? I love him already.
Yes.
So,
You know, like, I'm not... This is
like,
serious.
I'm not
This
teaching
isn't
you.
about a girl.
Skiing is expensive. I'm not gonna waste my time teaching you
we
just to
ended
get
up
in
going
bed.
on a date and falling in love that night. Like, as soon as I got in the car, which, by the way, this
And
is
it
what
wasn't
hooked
skiing.
me.
It wasn't
skiing.
no.
He just comes and he picks me up for a house party, whatever. Okay, but he comes and picks me up. He opens the door for me. That was it.
Golden
Boom.
rule.
That was it.
Boom.
Open the
Right
door.
there.
Open the door for your women, guys. Anyways, so first 5 minutes in the car, I'm
Okay.
telling him like, I'm not trying to have sex with you. Like, I've been
Which
through a
meant
lot
she is.
on Tinder. I'm not having any sex with you, okay?
Which she did like a couple hours later. I'm just predicting.
No, I didn't actually. Okay. He let me know too that he was not looking for anything either, that he had just gone on a serious relationship. So it was perfect that we were just letting everything go, no expectations. And by the end of the night, we were holding hands.
No.
Holding hands. And that was a tell sign that I think we're in love here.
Okay, now I have a question that I think that really binds all of this together. What is a true red flag?
Ooh.
What's your biggest red flag?
If they start talking about sex within the first 10 minutes.
Okay, that's a good
Which
one.
I went on a date, and that is literally what happened.
Really?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. And I'm like,
I like
10
how
minutes
shocked she is right now.
Like, oh my gosh, I've never experienced that. I think it was always
that just happened to me recently. I went
Wow.
on a date, and we were having a great lunch.
Is this a date that I know about already or
Nope,
not?
I haven't told you. I'm sorry.
Oh, I can't even believe
I will
that.
tell you later. I'm telling you right now.
Okay, good.
We went to a restaurant here on 3rd Street. Seems like a great guy. Is a great guy. Not dissing on him at all. But he started asking me questions immediately about sex. And so just out of politeness, I responded in a very neutral way.
Good. Well, can you give us a phrase that you said or?
I mean, he started asking questions about like one night stands and just.
Hey, at least I like that he's up front.
I mean,
okay,
he
because
was
these
very-
boys I was dealing with, they would not say anything, and then it's the end of the night. It's like, all right, it's expected. At least he.
Well, you're on
said something
Tinder.
too.
I mean, you know
And I was in
what?
my early 20s,
Yeah.
like 22.
Oh my
So-
gosh,
And I'm
fresh.
dealing with boys.
Fresh meat
who are
right
20,
now. Totally
early
fresh
20s,
meat.
like,
Yeah.
So
No, he was just being extremely upfront and yeah. But to me, that's a red flag because I'm like, that is forefront on your mind.
like the only thing you care about, obviously.
Like you didn't even ask me about where I'm from, what I do. Like you immediately went
You
into
didn't
sex.
even know what type of deodorant I
like,
wear.
You didn't even ask my favorite color.
You don't even
dude,
know my sign of
fuchsia and teal.
like long walks on the beach.
Right? You just want to know my favorite position? Jeez. Come on, get out of here with that.
My biggest red flag. My biggest red flag is, I think it's obviously, you know, a sex thing, but you know, more of a subtle. Biggest red flag is more of the dominant type. Okay, I went on an outing. I don't feel as if it was a date, but it was an outing, doing something together, enjoying each other's company, but he demanded on driving because he had to have control of the vehicle. And that was a big red flag to me going...
Whose vehicle was it?
It was his. Well, that's what we chose. That's why we took his vehicle. He didn't feel comfortable being in my vehicle because he needed to have control of driving.
Gotcha.
And then I was like, okay, well then that's the end of this because that level of needing control, that's going to be in everything. You know what I mean? Like just as simple of, oh no, I would rather drive when it's just, it's an hour drive there and back. Both of us could have easily done it, but really admitting I have to have control.
Yeah.
I mean, he admitted it. I was like, okay.
Equals trauma. If you have certain control issues,
It's getting real rough, real
Yeah, I
fast.
know.
it equals trauma. I'm just saying.
That's how we do.
So let's wrap it up. Ready?
It up. Hey, let's
guys.
pound the rest of our wine.
I pounded it.
All right, God bless.
Hey guys,
Cheers, everybody.
Thank you so much for joining us, and thank you so much to my guest Alexis and my beautiful co-host Stephanie. And we will see you next time on Mandy and Friends.
Love
where
you.
the fun never
Love you.
ends.